Hi friends, we will continue the journey of Sepia and I will illustrate some cases with their rubrics. So we will go intensity wise, like how I told the case of that small girl. So now how would she transform into a lady, we will see. Okay, so then after that was a school girl case. Next will come a college girl. Okay, so there was this college girl whose case I have already discussed in Telegram group. I think last year I have done this, and she had some problem of cracks on lips, and it was a chronic issue for which her mom had brought to me. And she was about, after just after her 12th, she was about to go to abroad for further studies, and she was going all alone, and her ambition was some type of course she was supposed to do there, and her basic ambition was to do something for the environment, to do something for the globe, for a higher cause. Okay, and she was thinking of this at such a young age. Means after 12 people generally think of doing a course and earn good money and settle down in life, but her motto was something different. So and she was very good in studies, just that she had a little dark complexion. So she was pretty good in every field. Okay, and the mother was a working female, and she told that I used to go for work and she would just stay alone at home, and there was nothing that she troubled me throughout her childhood. And now also she's going alone, and she's very confident of herself, of going to places. And so this is how the self confidence is. This is the desire to work for higher things, for not just home and not just money or only career, but career with something additional is her aim. So then I asked her that you are 100% in whatever you have been doing till now. So what is something that you feel? Do you feel something is lacking in you? So then she said that yes, when I see other females, I feel that I have got all the qualities, but still I lack somewhere. My complexion is not good. I was like, oh, does that really matter? She's like, yes, sometimes to make an impression it does matter, because those females who have a good complexion, they have an added advantage. So I was like, okay, since when have you developed this feeling, or has somebody told you about this? So she told, no, nobody has told me about this, but when I see the girls getting attention from boys, so maybe at those times I get this feeling that I lack somewhere. I was like, you are such a perfect person, but this is delusion poor, that everything is there, but something is lacking. That little lacking puts down Sepia, because she wants to do everything, and she feels that she can do it. She has all those qualities, but just that little lacking makes her down. She makes her embarrassed about herself. So then with Sepia, within 2 or 3 days itself it healed, and after 1 week she just left for her place, and she did quite well. Then there was this lady. Okay, she stays in a joint family since marriage. So 1 second. So she was staying in a joint family. She was herself a doctor, but she never established herself full fledged. And after getting married, her priority she gave to her family, to her husband, to in-laws, to her kids, to making of the house. And in all this, she had to change many times. She started one clinic, then shut the clinic, then started somewhere else. She put all her best efforts, all her best efforts are going, and then something happens that she has to withdraw. Something happens that she cannot practice at that place at a continuous pace. And then, those children happen, the deliveries happen. There's no support system. In fact, she is the support of her entire family. So, after reaching a level, after the kids are settled and things are just going on in the house, she feels that I have done so much, but anywhere I have not reached. So, what is her need? Her need is to develop her own identity, and she identifies only with her family right now. But the desire of Sepia is not restricted to only identifying herself with family needs. It is also to make her own career, to set her own benchmark where she had thought of setting after getting herself so much of education since childhood. So that was where she felt the lacking, the confusion of identity, duality, the sense of duality, that whether I am a doctor or whether I am a housewife, what am I can't understand. And whatever she has been doing till now, so this creates those thoughts in her, whether I should be continuing to do this, whether I'm doing the right thing, whether I should be a doctor or I should just go out of the house and do my practice, or they will take fetch for themselves, or whether I should just stay at home. So every time this thing keeps on bothering Sepia, and this makes her antagonism with herself. Why antagonism takes place? Because her desire is to serve others, and she enjoys doing it. That's why she kept doing. Now when the people around her recognize that she has got that ability and she can really do well in taking care of the house, gradually over the period she starts getting dominated. You know how we are taken for granted that suppose I explain on YouTube one thing, okay, then what happens, maybe I'm not saying this is a fact, but just giving an example. Like suppose there are people who feel not coming to seminars and not coming for our sessions, not buying books. It doesn't make a difference. They are giving so much on social media that we get everything for granted. They take everything for granted. Okay, chalo, now you explain this, now you explain this also. Okay, she has explained this, now she will explain this also. So gradually what will happen, if I am Sepia, then over a period of time I will start feeling that pressure on me, that I have to do this, I have to do this also. And that pressure over me will start getting multiplied, that there is a question on this topic also, I have to explain on this topic also. So the pressure I am taking, and I get dominated in that pressure. Any pressure situation is a domination. So the things start getting multiplied, the amount of workload starts getting multiplied, and she starts doing more and more, even though it is of her liking. But she doesn't realize the capacity, that how much she's putting in, the effort she's putting in, and she just keeps on and on. So this becomes sexual excesses. Sexual excesses is what? Something which is beyond a limit, beyond a limit, something which is beyond normal limits, that you can't expect everything from just one person without any support system. So that is going beyond. अति हो जाना, जो Gupta sir has explained the meaning of sexual excesses when he was doing I think he was doing Bovista at that time, and he's explained it beautifully. So, sexual excess is something which goes beyond. You can't expect so much, also. So, when this happens, Sepia ailments from sexual excesses drains her energies, and she goes into delusion poor, and she gets dominated. Okay, and then confusion of mind, duality, sense of duality as to her identity, and when then there is will contradiction of, she contradicts her own willingness, whether I will to practice but I am supposed to do this housework. So this is where dancing ameliorates, goes into contradiction with developing a sense of identity. Okay, and contradictory actions are contradictory to intentions. So after serving all the years, when sexual excesses happen, then she feels that my intention was not to just do this, my intention was much more, and now my actions are contradictory. Now I am not able to come out of this zone and do something what I really intended to do. And she intended to do actually everything, going out also and doing homework also. But this is a contradiction. Okay, now in this process, she has neglected her own health. She's like, okay, let me first complete this work, then I will see about myself. Let me first do this, then I'll see about myself. So this is seen in our repertory as frivolous, a very casual attitude about things, about her own health basically. That let me ठीक है, it is little pain, I'll just carry on and I'll see the doctor tomorrow. Then tomorrow something else comes up, like there is a what you say, some appointment with the teacher in school, and there is an open house, or there's some guest coming. You're like, oh, today I've got to do so much, I will go tomorrow. So this is how she keeps postponing things which she was supposed to do for herself. Okay, so this was one case. There is another very lovely case of Sepia, where this female, again, that sexual excesses was there in her. But what makes Sepia go so beyond her capacity is, there is one rubric, that delusion, she could easily strain herself. Strain is what, putting that extra load. And putting this extra load, in physicals there is bearing down sensation, prolapse of uterus. So why prolapse occurs? No, prolapse is when excessive pressure is given, excessive load is carried, excessive responsibilities are taken to rear the family. Okay, that is what leads to prolapse. So she strains herself too much. She feels that I can easily strain myself. Dr. Kent has mentioned one very nice rubric of Sepia, and that is anxiety when the desire, anxiety urination when the desire is resisted. So, urination is a very normal phenomena which takes place from every few hours, like 1 hour or 2 hours. So, depending on the amount of water consumed, and when you get the desire, you want to urinate, you cannot control, although due to circumstances, sometime or the other you may control, but it should not happen every time, right? Every time if you are doing it, it is harmful. So, but in Sepia, it is anxiety urination when the desire is resisted. So she wants to urinate. Okay, why is the anxiety? Anxiety comes when this desire, when she has to do something, okay, this desire is resisted. She resists herself from not doing it. That no, something else is prior, I have to do this, then I will do what I want to do. So then she feels the desire that I have to urinate. Oh no, she gets anxious that whether I should fulfill what I want to do, or I should do something which is more urgent. So that makes her anxious. Okay, so anxiety urination when the desire is resisted. She withdraws from doing what she wants to do, and that makes her anxious because she wants to actually urinate also and she wants to do something else also. So these two rubrics are very classy. And the next case is about something like this again. So this is again contradiction, action contradictory to intention, and will contradiction of. So this lady, she is also under similar circumstances where she got married and she came to know that she's alone supposed to, because mother-in-law passed away soon after her marriage and father-in-law underwent a stroke where he got paralyzed and he was bedridden. Then there was a sister-in-law, husband's sister, who was schizophrenic. So she, after marriage, had a son, and got divorced because of her behavioral problems. And she had to stay in this house where she has to take care of husband, her own son. And when I asked her that who all stay with you at home, so she told me, I have two sons and father-in-law, sister-in-law and husband. So, and then she told me about her sons also, that elder one is in this standard, younger one is in this standard. And the case went on. You won't believe, in the first visit, she never told me that actually the second son is not hers. It is only in the next visit, she told me that sister-in-law is schizophrenic and she underwent a divorce and that's why she's with us. But in the next visit, she revealed to me that actually, doctor, I have to take treatment for this younger son also because he is not mentally stable, maybe mentally weak. He's mentally weak and his traits are coming from my sister-in-law. So I was like, oh, but then she portrays to society that she has two sons and she's ready to accept whatever comes in her way, because people do comment, people do see with those eyes when they see that the mother is having a special child and she takes care of that special child as her own child. To special child, we have seen in Mankur how those children are just left to fend for themselves on streets, and they pick up and keep them in that home for special children. So, but then here it was different. It was, she accepted and she took it on herself that I will take care of him, and she adopted, legally they have adopted that son. Okay, so this can be done only by a lady with a big heart and with a desire to actually do things out of her way. So she herself being MBA, and she's fulfilling all those works and responsibilities which she's supposed to do as a wonderful daughter-in-law, and this had to pay a toll on her health, right? So again, sexual excesses, actions contradictory to intention. When this happens, when she feels that, somewhere I need that appreciation, somewhere I need to be appreciated, somewhere my efforts should get recognized. Something had to, there is nobody in the house to tell her this. Husband just goes morning, comes in the night, he's joined some sports groups and he's very busy in those sports practices and events. So he's also not at home. There is nobody at home to appreciate her, to help her out. She's her own help. So this is where I found out these set of rubrics. Delusion, she could strain herself easily, she feels she can do it, but it goes beyond. Okay, then impatience, sitting while. Sepia cannot sit. When she sits, she thinks of some other work and she gets impatient that when will I get a chance to just get up, so night is a restless thing for her because she's at peace. She's supposed to sleep, or when she has to wake up in the morning, she has 10 things to do. And if something happens and she has to sit, like the child says, Mama, please sit for some time, please do this for me. So when she's sitting, she is actually not able to rest also, and she's not doing anything useful also. So sitting is something, an inactive zone, where she is mentally thinking, I have to do this, I have to do this, when will my child sleep, when will he leave me, when will he go to school, so that I just do what I'm supposed to do. So impatient sitting while. Then there is also intuitive to the weakness of others, where why she took up all this, adoption and father-in-law gain. She is intuitive, she herself can feel that, without any logic, without any scientific theory in that, without anybody else telling her, she herself feels the weakness of others. And when she feels the weakness of others, she feels that I have to strengthen it, and she goes out of her way and she takes care of those weak things. Okay, weakness, if this person is weak, I will go and I will help that person out, and she is intuitive enough to understand that. Okay, so here this rubric can be applied, and this is how you can understand. But that why Sepia is doing, how she knows, she comes to know, and she will see and she can perceive very easily. So Sepias can be very good homeopaths also. Okay, and why she does this, she feels, there is one rubric which Dr. Sunil Godke has explained in our seminars many times, and he's done it beautifully. Fear that joints are weak. Okay, joints is those which are keeping the family. Joints are what, if it can break away easily, something that is kept one united to the other. Okay, that together can be those joints which are relations. Okay, this bone is related to this bone at the joint. So if I don't do this, then this joint can be broken, this relation can be broken, or if it breaks away, then she is not successful in her work. Okay, she's not done her work properly. So that fear makes her do more to keep that joint strong enough. Okay, so she goes out of the way. For further cases, we will go to the next video.